This video is sponsored by Vehicle Score. Vehicle Score is a free vehicle checking service which you can visit by going to vehiclescore.co.uk. Simply type in a registration number and you will get a unique score to your vehicle. You can compare your score to the average in Vehicle Score's database. It's full of free useful information such as a mileage tracker history. It gives you a comprehensive breakdown of your MOT history for things like advisories and also wear and tear items. It gives you performance data, an estimated valuation, an estimated lifespan of the vehicle compared to others like it. It's full of free useful information. Also as well, they also have their 2 new features, including the new car insurance tip section to help you save money on your next car insurance quote, and their new AI mechanic, which will help you if you have any issues with a car, trying to diagnose any faults or common issues you might be having with a particular vehicle. But it doesn't end there, because Vehicle Score also offer their paid checks. These checks start from less than a cup of coffee and will check to see things like if your vehicle has ever been involved in an accident, whether it's been written off by an insurance company to a Category N or a Category S. Maybe it's an unrecorded write-off, so it's gone for a salvage auction and you weren't aware of it. It'll also check to see if your vehicle's ever been imported or exported, ever been used as a taxi, has outstanding finance. They offer some of the most comprehensive checks out there, and all this information is assured with their £10,000 data guarantee. The paid checks are some of the most comprehensive priced out there, and it gets better because you guys get a discount. Simply use the promo code CARUK20 to get 20% off any of those paid checks. But remember guys, the basic service is completely free and it's constantly evolving. So make sure you download the Vehicle Score app, get yourself over to vehiclescore.co.uk and give them a try.
Hi there, welcome back to the channel and to another car pitch update video. Right, so title of this video, stress. What has been stressing me out this week? Well, quite a lot. I've had a pretty torrid week this week and I'm really looking forward to actually going away on holiday. Well, actually, tomorrow morning I'm going. I'm about to show up shortly, but I thought I'd do another pitch update before I left, give you an update of where we are really with sort of cars we've sold. It's been really busy still. I've tried not to make it busy. We've not ramped up the advertising or anything like that. We've not been on the board with Facebook, but even still, we're still getting people coming on and buying stock, which is sort of not helping the situation because I'm not going to be here. So it's obviously we've got staff off as well on bits of holidays and stuff like that and annual leave. So yeah, it's just not great time at the moment to try and get all these cars out. We'll do it, but it's just very stressful when you're going to go away and you effectively can't do anything about the business. You've got to go away and relax. And I do need a break because I've been rotten the last couple of weeks. I've had a stressful sort of 6-7 months running this place, loving it to bits, but it has been stressful. And this week or so really stressed me out. Out of nowhere, I've had loads of sort of random problems and issues, just sort of messing up the days. I've had an issue with the Polo, which I cannot seem to rectify, which has just come out of nowhere. I've had a couple of warranty claims, which were pretty straightforward, although one of them might turn out to be a bit more of a headache, we'll see. Anyway, we can talk about that later on. Let's quickly go have a look on the pitch. It is raining, but we'll go and brave it. Have a chat, show you what's sold, show you what I have got coming in, and then we'll talk about what has been peeing me off this week. Right, it looks like it's might actually stop raining now, so that's good timing. I'll show you what we've got. We have actually got pretty full pitch, to be honest. Not everything that's going to be here is on sale. Some stuff is got a bit of repair work and some bits are part exchanges and whatnot, but we'll quickly go through stuff. We'll start in the workshop because we're right next to it. Fiesta. Sold this Fiesta and we sold this Ford KA. You've probably seen this Ford KA before in an update video. It was over by the gateway there. Definitely had it in one of the videos recently. Little KA. This sold last Saturday and really pleased with that. Young girl came for it. It's a little 1.2 KA with the basically Fiat 500 underneath, but it's sold and away. She test drove this and a 107. I actually thought she might go for the 107 because most people prefer them, we like them, but she actually liked the KA better. So it said to drive nice, a bit more substantial inside, a bit better quality interior, which it probably is because the Igos are probably a little bit more cheaper inside. But anyway, personal preference. She's happy with it. She put a deposit down, bought the car. I think it was up for about £26.95, I remember rightly. We are putting a clutch in it. We have done some work to it already. It had a ruck of advisories. We actually bought it as an MOT failure. It had a failure on the exhaust manifold leaking, which we fixed. It also had suspension leaks as well, all sorts of leaks on the suspension, on the shockers. Just changed them. Did them all, got rid of them, changed them. So we've done all them previously before we put it on sale. It's had a new set of trims on it, a few tyres. Then we had an issue with the dash clock that sort of went randomly, so we had to send that off to ECU testing. It put up a bit of a fight. And then we had to have the bumper painted because it looked like someone had tried eating it. But anyway, it got on sale, it sold. We've still got to put a clutch in it, which is not great. It was okay, the clutch is in, it wasn't slipping or anything like that. It's just, it was a little bit noisy, the thrust bearing, very intermittent. But I know on these from the Fiat 500s, which share the same clutch, that they are when they start doing that noise, when they start, thrust bearing starts whining in them, even intermittently, it's not going to last very long. So we just change them. They're cheap to do. As long as the internal part is the issue, which it is on this, the actual three-piece clutch, they're straightforward. It's more the external cylinder that's a bit of a pain on these, because they're quite difficult to get hold of at the moment. But that's all right. That doesn't look too bad on it. That looks actually quite recently been replaced. I suspect that someone's done the outside and not changed the inside of the clutch, and that's where the real issue is. Anyway, we're going to do it. It's cheap. It's not going to bother us. Peace of mind. Mechanics going to be getting on with that this week. Fiesta sold. Ford Fiesta sold. Quickest probably car I've ever sold on the pitch. This is a Fiesta. Now remember this. We had this from Aston Barclay. We bought this. Came in with a bit of a mark on it. That was really its only real downfall. Really was a mark on this quarter here. The rest of the paint was all right, but it had a mark just here. If I've got any footage, I'll show you. But as you can see now, it's come up well. Bit of a nightmare to paint this colour, but the paint man has done us proud. He's painted it, blended it, done a good job. Wasn't dear, and like I said, he's done a decent job of it. So we've got rid of that mark on it. It came back from paint. It literally went straight on sale. Within about 20 minutes, it sold. That was just unbelievable. It was so quick. Literally just parked it up, turned me back, sat down, did some paperwork, come out, and then my colleague, he's literally got people on a test drive on it, and they come in and bought the car. They were after a Fiesta. They walked in by fluke and they found one. And they said, like I said, this one was probably in budget. It was a little bit newer than what they were looking at. Before. This was about 2,600 quidish mark, somewhere around there. I think this one was. And it was exactly what they're after, and a nice colour. Most of them were sort of standard colours, silvers and stuff like that. So they're pretty pleased with it. It's a good car underneath as well. It's had a lot of work done to it. Luckily, and for a change, not by us. This has had like new shockers on it recently. It's had new rear axle bushes on it recently. A few bits and bobs actually. So someone has been looking after it. So all we've had to do is service kit. We've ordered a full service kit for it, and a tyre which we're going to put on when we do the service. However, to get it into MOT today, we had an MOT booked. Now the service kit and the tyre aren't really relevant to the MOT, because the tyre, yes, all right, the tyre's relevant to the MOT, but it wouldn't have failed. It was low, but it wouldn't have failed. It might have got an advisory. But we would order one, but because we didn't arrive, we thought, right, get it off the ramp, get it to MOT. Once we've got it to MOT, we get it passed. Even if it's got the advisory, it doesn't matter. Bring it back. We're going to put a tyre on it anyway, so we can explain that to the customer, get it serviced, cleaned up, job done. Now before that, obviously we've done the usual prep. We do strip and clean a brake, stuff like that. Anyway, gets it off the ramp, goes to MOT, gets a call, the wheel cylinder's burst. On the brake rollers, something that I've happened to make myself many a time as a tester. It's quite a common occurrence actually. It's just burst. It's weak, it's burst. Now, just sod's law, I'm afraid. Didn't look like it was any issues with it when we stripped and cleaned them. It wasn't misting or anything like that, or leaking, but maybe we disturbed it, who knows. It is what it is. So we've had to get on with that, so we've had to put it back in here, do the service, which we're going to do, and then we've also then had to get some cylinders for it and also some new shoes. He's just done the one side, he's got to finish the other side off tomorrow. Yeah, so the shoes are actually pretty decent, the ones were on it, but obviously they're contaminated from the cylinder that's leaked, and obviously we're going to replicate it on the opposite side. So yeah, more money having to be spent, so that sort of annoyed me today, but at least it's happened now. It's not happened under warranty, it's not stranded the customer, so there is that plus to it, I guess. Right, moving on outside, first thing we'll notice, I-10, back from paint. Now remember this, we did a video on this recently, picked it up from the auction with the Chevrolet Trax. We've got the Chevrolet Trax out, and we've got this Hyundai out. And you remember, it needed a bit of paint, but again, paint man, done us proud. We've straightened all this bumper up, it had a bit of a damage down here, it had gone under, we flicked it out, and as you can see there, it's looking absolutely beautiful. Bit of dealer's mist on it as well, which is always a nice touch. But he's painted that wing and the bumper, and he's blended it in. Beautiful job. And car's coming up really bright now. I've ordered a new set of trims for it because they're a little bit edgy. That one's probably not too bad. I think it's this side. One of them's pretty rubbish. Yeah, it's this side here. It's pretty rubbish. Like I said, it's done 72,000 miles. One former keeper with full history. So it's a proper car. Someone's left the key in it. Someone's in trouble. 72,000 miles. One former keeper with history. So nice thing. We're probably going up for 28.95. We sold the last one for 2,995. I think it was a year newer. About a month ago, very similar car and mileage and spec. So, yep, good sellers, the i10s. We like them a lot, although I have got to put an ABS sensor on it, which has arrived. We'll do that tomorrow before we put it on sale. Company van, ignore that. That's just the works, just a ripper. That's just on work duty. What we've had in at the moment, what have we had on site? We've got quite a bit here, actually. We've been doing all right the last few days. iX20, that was sold. I'm pretty sure we mentioned that already in the last update. Sold and away. That's had a bit of work done to it. It's had quite a bit done to it. I actually had to do 2 wheel bearings on it, which annoyed me. A tyre, which had a puncture on the pitch. Again, a nail in the pitch, which is annoyed me. So that's another cost there. Typically, I had new front brakes on it. I'm pretty sure this has had new front brakes on it. Let's have a look. Soon tell you if I'm lying or not. Nope, there you go. It's had new front brakes on it. I thought it had. Service kit done. It's had quite a bit of work, to be honest, as we do. But it's come up well. It's a nice thing. Customer loves it. That's going out this weekend, so I'm pleased with that one. It's a 1.4 petrol as well, that. I haven't sold many 1.4 petrol ones. We usually always end up with diesels. Kia Rio, sold. This went on sale, literally 2 days, sold straight away. Guy came in, watches the channel, what the car for his missus, didn't mess about, went bang, I'll have it. Don't blame him. Nice things, come up really well. Just the nice cars. I like these Kia Rios, they are really good news. This is 35 quid road tax. You know, the nice interiors in them, they're just nice to drive, cheap to run, practical 5-door. They sort of remind me of a sort of like a Dacia Sandero, but you know, better quality type car, where they're just small but not too small, ideal family car, cheap to run, just does what it's supposed to do. It's really good news. So we've got a little bit to do to it, but we will get on to that one probably next week or so when I get back from the Jollies. A little 207 that's come on, very bright thing in red, little Verve, which I'm going to put on Facebook later. A couple of Igos, or C1s in this case, 2 IC1s. I've got a 3-door and a 5-door. 3-door's a 12 plate with a bit more miles on, nice alloys on it though, but a bit more basic trim. And then we've got a 10 plate one, which is a VTR Plus one, which strangely hasn't got alloys on it, but got half leather. I don't know why. But it also got less miles on as well, and it's a 5-door, which usually are a little bit more popular. Shouldn't really make much difference, to be honest, but for some reason the 5-doors are a bit popular. But say they're both sort of similar money, so it's horses for courses. They just come in, we valeted them, we've just got to get them in the workshop over the next few days and just go through them, do the seals, stuff like that, all the usual stuff we do. Moving on down the line, we've got the Mini. We had a few bites on that this week, and even a test drive as well. Got a man going away thinking about that one, so determined that will go soon. Little 107, still here, God knows why. It's not a nice car, that, and facelift one. But get a lot of test drives on it, and then they end up buying another C1 or Igo, or it always seems to be second best, this one. Always the bridesmaid and never the bride. But it'll go in the end, they all do. Had a few bites on the Picanto this week as well, with a little low mileage 45,000 miler. Little, I think it's one former keeper car. So a few bit interests on that. So we're pretty confident they'll go soon. Now, those of you who might have already clocked on, what is that on my left-hand side, Lee? Well, I'll show you. Any guesses? Anyone got that guess what that car is? If you are, let me know now. Yep, one of you got it right. It is a Proton Savvy. A little 1.2 Proton Savvy. Come in, a little part exchange vehicle we bought. And I have to say, never ever retailed one of these. I've driven them, and I know a little bit about them. They actually were meant to be, although it'd be brief, there was a chance of them coming a Rover at one point. There was a little negotiation going on with Rover in their dying days for these Savvies and Gen 2s they produced to be turned into Rovers, but never materialised. Anyway, look, they are a very cheapy basic car. They weren't very popular, although they are quite retro, and I do quite like the look of them. Died a death now, Protons. I don't even sell vehicles in the UK anymore. These run a Renault Clio engine 1.2, so it's quite robust. It's quite a decent little Renault engine in. Like I say, we come in as a Part X, and it's done 25,000 miles. Well, I think it's actually slightly less than that, but we're saying 25,000. Let's have a look inside her. Oh, she's beautiful. A very basic thing. We're going to have a look around it. It's got a few little marks on its scuffs, which, in fairness, I've just shoved it on sale for now because I'm going away tomorrow, so I was just trying to get some stuff out. A few of these scuff will come out, so I am going to improve it, or get one of the lads to improve it while I'm away, just to maybe just touch some few bits in and just get some scuffs out. So if it has, I run a mop over it, probably look a better car. But it's a very cheap car. There you go, only done 25,000 miles. It's 2 former keepers. I'm going to service it. It's a nice old thing as well. There isn't much service history at all of it. I've got a manual pack, but there's only little bits and bobs, which is a shame. But the mileage does stack up. It does. I've checked it on the vehicle score. It does stack up. They look quirky things with little yellow dials in them and stuff like that. No, they were all right, but they are very. When you start touching things, they are very, very cheap. Very cheap. Like, they look 25,000 miles, and the gear stick's got a bit of wear on it. Steering wheel's got quite a lot of wear on it for a car with a 25k on. This is just how they are. They're a smart little thing, but just not everyone's cup of tea. But you don't really see one of these anymore. With 25k on it, there's no reason why that's got years of service left in it for someone. And it's got alloys on it, lecky windows and bits and bobs. It is what it is. Anyway, I had a look online. I wasn't going to start being silly with the pricing. I've just stuck it up at $14.95. We'll put a 12 months MOT on it, and we'll sell it at that. It's actually, with that mileage on, I think it's the cheapest one in the country with that with the lowest possible mileage. Anyhow, my stressful week. I went to car auction at the beginning of the week. Went to G3. Got really stuck in traffic. That really stressed me out, and it ended up spending the whole day there when really I wanted to get back a lot sooner, but just didn't happen because of just traffic, basically. Nothing to do with the auction. The auction went swimmingly, but yeah, just traffic was a nightmare. Gets back, and then we have a issue with this Polo we sold. Now this isn't going out anytime soon. We've actually got a little bit of time on it yet, but it's not looking good. This car has been driving absolutely superb. In fact, I picked it up from the auction, drove it, what, 20-30 miles back here. I've been out in it a couple of times, round and about. It's been absolutely fine. Laid it up, actually sold it before it even went on sale. The guy came in and bought the car. He's wanted a cheap Polo. He's bought it, brought it in to have the prep done, put it on the ramp. We've done some bits to it. It's had some CV joints on it. It's had tyres on it, as you can see. We've had shockers on the back on it. We've done quite a lot to this. Gets it ready on the ground, and all of a sudden start it up and it starts really running really lumpy. Now it's not missing, it's just running really lumpy. It can't hold its idle, so it's just giving me a real headache, and I'm getting to the point now where we may have to basically refund the man's deposit for the car, because I don't want to be leaving him in the lurch while we're trying to fix it and sort of really trying to guesswork on it, because at the moment we are pretty stumped. Scan it, no codes whatsoever. It's got not come up with anything at all. You start the car, it runs all right for about a minute, and then it starts to basically go a bit funny on the old lumpiness and running rough. It had a split breather pipe on it, so we thought, brilliant, cracked it. We've replaced that. That was buried behind the back of the engine, but we found it and replaced it. Didn't make a blind bit of difference. It was just, didn't make no difference at all, and it was a proper scrap pipe as well, so that didn't solve it. We've had the throttle body off, we've cleaned it all out, I've been on the machine, I've recalibrated the throttle body, not made any difference. So now I'm down to looking at maybe I'm gonna have to get some live data up properly, get a proper sitting on it, and maybe get a spare throttle body, maybe try that. Maybe there's another breather pipe at the back of the engine underneath. We need to have a look at that one that goes to the crankcase breather. There's a couple we need to have a look at. So I'm not give up on it, but it's just happened at the worst possible time, and it's just one of those faults where, you know, if something's obvious, you just prefer it. You know what I mean? These hidden faults are a pain in the arse. So, you know, if the mechanic comes to me and say the spring's just broke on a car, which also happened this week as well on a customer's car, which I'll talk about in a sec. But if a spring breaks on a car while you're turning it round or something, just go, oh, that's a shame. But it's a spring, it's easy. You know what I mean? You might moan about it for a minute, but it's easy to fix. It's obvious. When you're fault finding stuff like this, it just becomes more of a pain just to try and diagnose it. And when you're up against the clock as well, and the customer wants the car, it's just really stressful. Anyway, spring, talk about broken springs, Focus, sold the Ford Focus. The Ford Focus, the blue one, which was here, which has now been replaced by a very poorly Corsa. We sold the Focus, that went out to the customer this week, the titanium, did all the work on it, did quite a bit to it in fairness, got it all out, got it MOT'd, brought it back from the MOT station. He got from here and he got to the gate, turned out the corner, and the spring broke. The spring broke. It's like you couldn't make it up. You could not make it up. You had the biggest clang ever, freshly broken spring. I mean, it was around here somewhere. See if I can try and find it. But like, honestly, that was on the same day, by the way, when I got back from the auction, and the Polo was playing up as well. So Tuesday was, other than the auction, which was brilliant, it was a really, really bad day for me because everything just went wrong. There we go, found it. There's your remnants of your spring. It's still looking out there, freshly broke spring, but just sod's law. But again, look on the bright side. It happened now. It happened now. You know, I've had that happen. I've literally had an MOTs in the past where I've done an MOT on a customer's car and I've parked it up and I literally got out of the car and the spring is broken. Which is not too, which isn't nice when it happens because you assume it's your weight that's done it, which in fairness probably was. But it's just proper sod's law. It's like you just don't think those things can happen. Trust me, they do. They do. I've seen it happen. In fact, we've had it on here on the channel. We had it on that Peugeot, which a few months ago we literally round the corner. We picked it up, reversed it out, turned the corner, boom, spring went. Just anyway, state of the roads at the moment. What do you expect? I suppose they're just getting all bashed apart, aren't they? Anyway, right, before I go, I'll just quickly show you two things I keep getting asked about, just to sum up. I keep getting asked about this BM. Now, it's not mine. Please do not ask me about it, buying it or anything like that. It is not for sale. Don't ask me about it. The person who's got it is not interested in selling it. I'm just showing it you because I get about 20 messages every time I do a video asking about this BM. So like I said, here we go. It's the BMW Bauer Edition. or Bo, however you want to pronounce it. It's on an old W. It'd be 1980, 81 was a W, I think. But these are a rare old thing. Run to 323, so they'll have the old straight six in, the really, really old straight six, which they changed around mid-80s. But yeah, it's a nice thing. Convertible with a lovely roof on it as well. The roof's in good nick. But yeah, it's in for, I think it's done to do with the alternator anyway. But there you go. Every people get asking about it. It's a rare thing, and it's probably worth a lot of money as well. Nice deep dish alloys on it as well. But there we go. But whoever it is should be absolutely proud of that, because that is a lovely car. Nice thing and a rare thing. You don't see many of those anymore. And the other car that people keep asking me about, which people noticed, is my Rover 100 Metro, which is back. Now, those of you who don't know, I do own a Rover 100 Metro, which is over here. It's looking a bit poorly at the moment. It has only done genuine 11,000 miles. Genuine. Underneath, you can eat your dinner off it. Outside, I wouldn't eat your dinner off it. It's just looking worse for wear at the moment. It's been laid up at my friend's house for a while, and yeah, it's in serious need of a remake. The whole roof needs painting, the whole car needs painting. So I have bought new seals for the windows. I'm going to pop the seals out in the next month or so and get it sent off to paint. Bumpers, we're going to have them colour coded to the car. They originally would have had black bumpers on it, but they did do colour coded bumpers on this version, so I'm quite happy to do that. And I'm going to try and get a set of Rover 100 alloys as well, which again would have been an optional extra, just to try and make it a little bit more smarter. But yeah, that's the plan with that. It's only done 11,000 miles. I gave £1,000 for it. There is a video in my link, actually, you can see when I first got it. It looked a bit better than it does now. In fact, if you clean it, it doesn't look too bad. It's dropped a little bit on the suspension, so it does need the hydroelastics pumping up a little bit. But it is a genuine 11,000 mile car. It's got the potential. I just need to go and throw a little bit of money at it. I think if I go and throw a bit of money at it now, I think at £1,500, probably will get it painted and make it look very, very bright again. And I can fix the rest myself, get the trims done and stuff like that, repair the seat and stuff, because it's got a little bit of a tear in the seat, which really annoys me. But luckily it's right on the seam, so I should get away with just repairing that, straightforward stitch up. Like I said, 11,000 miles, and it drives sensational. I've had loads of these. I love them, Metros and 100s and Minis. That's just me all over. But there we go. But it's seen better days, but we'll definitely be seeing that in the future. I'll say hopefully I'll be using it in the summer. Right, get ourselves out of that rain and noise. So what else have I got to tell you? Oh, man on bike. Forgot about man on bike. Man on bike concluded. He actually bought the car. Now I didn't get any footage of him because he didn't come on his bike. So that let me down a little bit, to be honest. So I was hoping he was going to turn up on his bike, because that would have made a good video, but it didn't happen, I'm afraid. He turned up with his missus, he walked up the road, I'm afraid. So yeah, he bought the car. Although it did turn out, actually, that the car wasn't for him, it was for his wife. He didn't actually drive, so maybe that had some bearing on the decision, I don't know. So I still hold the fact that man on bike usually does not buy a car, although on this occasion he did, technically, because he did pay for it. Anyway, they got the Qashqai, and the lady who bought it, the wife of Man on Bike, even left a lovely review as well, which was nice as well. That's nice to see. Anyhow, I am off tomorrow on holiday. I'm gone for about a week. But don't worry, I have content. I've pre-recorded content, including auction content as well, which is definitely coming. And we've got a full-length auction video coming a few days after I get back. So don't worry about that. You've got plenty of other content, and of course, the general content that we see on the channel as well. So don't worry, I've not left you stranded for a week or so. So don't worry, I've not left you stranded for a week or so. But I desperately need to go on holiday for my own well-being, for my wife's well-being, because she's had a real tough time over the last sort of 6-7 months as well. Mainly because putting up with me, but also through jobs and stress and stuff. And she's been going through a career and progressing, and it's just getting a bit too much now. She wants to try and just take a step back and maybe sort of just have a little bit of a break. I need a break. I've been here day in, day out, 6 days a week, some days even 7 days since August last year. And although I did have a few days in the sun with a friend of mine a few months ago when I got that crap hire car, I haven't really been anywhere other than Christmas week. We closed, but that's it. So I do need to de-stress. It's probably not the best time though when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. Well, 6 now, because one of them's the Polo. 6 cars still to go out as well, but there we go. Never mind, it is what it is. I'm sure the team will look after things whilst I'm away, and then when we get back, we can look to get some cars out and on sale. Go back to the auctions, get buying again, and also do some improvements around this site. Give me time to relax and refresh while I'm away, come back with some ideas and go again. So that's the plan. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you haven't checked out my other content, make sure you do that, including our recent trip to G3 auctions. And if you're interested in that little Rover 100 Metro, he did actually do a video of that about a year ago, which you can also check out in the link description. Thanks again, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.